Hello and welcome back to the second part of our Macedon campaign, picking up for where we ended our last episode. We had a battle around this region here with both armies of the Aetolian League. We had a heroic victory. The battle balance bar was not in our favor, but we managed to take down 3,000 troops and only lost around 600 or 700 in the process. So it was a pretty good result from us, and let's see what we can do this turn. So starting with, let's see what Athens is doing. Okay, nothing too special going on over there with those guys. If we have a look here in terms of our mercenaries, so I did just combine a couple of these guys together and recruited a new unit, because I do want them to be at full strength because they'll play a big part in our siege here. Looking at what else we can do, I don't think we can afford too many more mercenaries, especially with the way the accounting is going with our faction. If we have a look, I'm just wondering what we could do here. See if we can attack one of these guys and bring out the settlement cannon. What's our balance bar looking like? 84%. I think we can do better than that, and of course we don't want to get blindsided by Athens in the next turn, because I feel pretty certain that they're going to have a go at us. So let's just chuck a quick save here. And let's jump into the battle. So I am expecting not to lose too many of our forces in this one, and that will be important because we'll be looking to minimize our casualties for the upcoming battle with Athens, which I believe is on the short-term horizon. Let's just chuck these guys into phalanx, just so we've got a bit more defensive security here. And we'll be lining up pretty much identically to how we did in the previous battle. Let's chuck these guys on guard mode. Hopefully we won't be seeing them run into the melee engagement, which a couple of our guys decided they'd do last battle, but luckily it was nothing too serious. We've got our general here who's in good stead, and we'll keep our Tarentine cavalry in reserve this time. Now, I didn't see too much cavalry going on for the enemy, so we might just chuck all of our cav on the one flank. I think that'll be quite useful for us, and we'll put our missile cav on skirmish and chuck them on the other side and see if we can harass them a little bit. So let's get into the battle. Now, I did just put these guys in formation, but on hindsight, not the smartest idea I've had, because we do want to move up to our enemies here. Speed this up a little bit. In fact, I wonder what we got here. Let's send our cav in to deal with them. We'll just pull our missile cav here to the other side. I might just use them to take out the enemies. Take out the enemy's archers. In fact, I might actually just send these guys around there. Send our own general in here. I might just hold off till these guys have thrown both javelins. And we'll throw our other citizen cav into the mix. Let's just see what I did with our mates here. Not sure where the good old general here is going. Old mate, I think you're heading in the wrong... I see. In fact, we might actually not quite catch up to these guys. time. I wonder if we can just send our general over here to worry about these gents. I say that, and our good mate here has decided he does want to indeed engage with our cavalry, which is something I'll gladly oblige, if in all honesty.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And let's turn our army around.
Your orders. Double time.
Let's chuck an inspire on our general here.
Lead us.
Looks like didn't quite go as planned with our skirmish cav there, but I'm not particularly worried with that. Looks like we are breaking enemy general, which is perfect, just what we wanted. And I'll definitely hit the morale of our enemies here. Let's just clean them up a little bit. And let's put these guys in formation. We'll put our skirmishers on the, our melee cav there on the flank, and move our general over here, and we'll put our other cavalry on the edge here. Just bring our Tarantine cavalry back to the center. Now, I'm not particularly worried
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
about the missile cavalry here. Let's just see if we can mop up the see if we can just mop up this unit quickly with our axemen. Rather, didn't indeed think they were swordsmen, but in terms of their use, not too much difference there. Just a bit more armor penetration, I suppose. Let's change our targets and let's see if we can get a bit of a cavalry charge here. It's looking a bit iffy with the way these guys are staggered. Yeah, we might just pull off from that engagement. We'll do a little bit of a sneaky little tactic here, just see if we can encourage our good friends to leave the battlefield. Oh shit. That means to send you guys on the way. And we'll withdraw our cavalry. And let's see if we can get our friends here back into formation, just so we don't get ridden down by the enemy's missiles. I'm happy with these guys, just to continue focusing on them, on their missiles, just while we wait for the spears to start being a bit more proactive from the enemy here. See if we can just bring up Peltus.
One of our units has used all its
missile
ammunition.
cav in a little bit. Just whittle down the enemy's missiles.
At your service, happy to serve the people. Peltasts.
Jeez, they don't give us too much ammunition on these guys, do they? I'll say we'll send
The enemy general is dead.
well, that was a bit of a silly move from the AI there, wasn't it?
Slingers, at your service.
And it is looking like we are taking care of the enemy's
Orders, Telos, ready.
missile infantry. Let's just whittle down these guys a little bit if we can. We'll just send our skirmishers to clean up. A skirmish cav to clean up these guys a bit.
Ready to ride.
Tarantine cavalry! For the
Just put these guys over here in anticipation of a rout. Same with our friends here. Now, I'm definitely not worried about these guys. They're taking an interesting approach to our formation here, which isn't going to end too well for them, you can say. If we just move our line a little bit, if we can get a little bit
One of
more
our units
of
has used all its
a...
ammunition.
Your orders! Orders! Ready! Quick march! We await your command!
So if we can hasten our enemy's demise a little bit, let's say.
At the double! Slingers! Missile infantry at your command! Peltasts! Missiles awaiting target!
Missiles are a little bit low on their running out. In fact, they're all pretty much run out at this point. Let's send these guys to melee mode. I'll just bring them over here so you can clean up the enemy's routing units.
Ready, men! Advance at speed! Melee troops
Now let's
awaiting orders.
send these guys in and we'll send our cavalry round to the flank.
Companion cavalry!
It looks like we missed out on cleaning up that unit a little bit, which is a bit of a shame.
Hoplites! Pikes ready! One shield pikes! Orders! At speed! Pike infantry at your command! Quick march! Double time! Oi! Hoplites ready! Agrianian! Right!
We'll just bring these guys back in and see if we can get a few flanks on our
One of
enemy
our
here.
units has used all its ammunition.
General!
And we'll do a similar thing with our general.
Agrianian axemen!
And we are playing a bit slow because ideally I do want these enemy units to engage with us.
Commander! Advance at speed! Double time! At speed! Double time! At the double!
Let's just mop up these blokes here.
Yours to command!
Actually, we might just keep them back a little bit for the meantime. And we'll send our swords in, our axes, sorry, in there.
Citizen cavalry! Sons of Ares!
Let's make these a
Troops are
new
awaiting
group.
orders! In service of the people! Melee infantry at your command! Heavy cavalry ready and willing! Come for glory! Citizen cavalry! Put forward! Hades come to orders! Battle group awaiting orders!
Let's send them in for the charge.
Citizen cavalry! Agrianian axemen! Ready for orders! Your orders? At speed! One shield pikes! At for glory!
And that is another victory for us. Nothing too special there. Only 33 losses. That's much better than the 67% the other resolve was going to let me keep.
Well done. You fought your first battle.
My very first battle, that's a little inaccurate. I think I've got like 1,000 hours on this game. And let's grab a little bit more money off our mates here. And that is the first faction we have taken down, or at least it will be, once we walk into this settlement with little opposition. I'm sure the 20 men they had left or whatever put up a good fight, but it is all for nothing.
We hunger for battle!
Now, our money problems are starting to resolve a little bit. We are expecting a rebellion though, so we might just look at Securing our province here a little bit more. Let's just bring in, as I say, these guys have gone up in upkeep a little bit, which isn't what I quite wanted to see from them. But I don't think these guys are going to break the bank,
How may I
you
serve?
could say. Now, let's see if we can do some damage with our
All
spy here. Come on. Assassination failed. Not ideal. And what have we got here? So, Greek citizens, not exactly the best unit we can hope for. In fact, just having a look at our food, what this is doing to our food here. Now, I'm all for the public order, but I think this is the wrong building for us to have at this point in time. I don't quite want to do anything about that just yet, because we are, of course, running a little bit low on our funds. Let's see if factions have a bit more respect for us.
For we are an honest folk and value honesty.
Now, I'm just wondering if the Tribali would be willing to have a defensive alliance with us here. Doesn't look like it.
Be welcome.
But I think if we do add if we do put the building in here for the olive oil, that we might be able to start getting a few trade agreements around the board. And looking at what we've got here, let's go for that campaign movement range. And we'll go for the spear armed units melee weapon damage bonus. That's definitely going to help us out. There we go, that's a good one for us to get there. In terms of what else we can do, night battles, I can definitely see that being useful to us. So we'll pick up the first of that line there. Just gives us a little bit of a bonus to our melee defense when defending, and if we start to improve that, we will get battle rhythm, which, to be honest, I don't actually think I've used. I think it just improves your stats for a bit, but afterwards your enemies are a little bit more, your troops that are affected by it are a little less effective. So let's just see what we've got available to us here. In terms of our army here, can't quite see. Maybe I should have moved our spy over. I'm a little bit concerned about our cavalry. If we did want to bring in we do have a shock cavalry unit here. I would have considered grabbing these guys, if we had them available to us. Could pick up some more spears. I could see us using them. Got some more pikemen. I think what we might do is we'll just end our turn and we'll be a bit reactionary to Athens here. Just hoping we don't get Epirus involved, because it might be a bit problematic if we see them on the field after or soon after Athens. We'll definitely move our spy, because I am a tad concerned about Sparta here, what they can do to us, because we'll assume they have a decent force, and I don't think they're at war with Epirus. In fact, they aren't.
I give
They
you
take a
greeting
peace.
and my attention for the next few minutes. Make your case, but without...
It's not looking too promising for us. I wonder if these guys would pay us. Not likely, unfortunately. So let's just try to save here. And let's move on to the next turn. Let's hoping this bloke doesn't do us too much damage. And we have another battle here. Garrison is going to help us too much. Let's have a look at this army now that we can see it. Now, these guys, I'm not too sure on their stats, but they do look like a pretty solid unit. These guys here are also a problem. They're a mercenary that has around, I think around 10 or 11 melee attack and around 20 melee defense, if I can recall correctly from my Syracuse campaign, which of course I didn't record. They were a pretty decent unit to come in. If we can whittle down their morale a bit, I'm not too worried about them. Slingers here are a bit more of an issue, but I think if we isolate them, it won't be too big a deal. And the Harpote here, also not too much of a problem with against our swords, of course, and if we can flank them, all the better, especially with our cavalry. So I'm feeling confident about this one. I'm expecting to lose maybe around 700 people. In fact, I am considering a sally here, just because I think on the field we'll have a bit more mobility, but I think for a bit of spicy content, we'll fight this one in the town. So we will be using the typical town defense practices. So we'll just be looking to secure the choke points around our little town center or our temple here. So where is our friendly enemy? Oh, coming from the completely wrong side. Love to see it. And let's move some of these guys just to give a welcome to the general here. And indeed, if we can, let's bring these guys out of the town.
Run shield pikes! Fight phalanx! Macedonians, ready! Run shield pikes! Macedonians, ready! Missile infantry, ready! Yours to command! Pike infantry, at your command! Peltasts! At speed! Marching order! Warriors of Macedon!
Bring these guys into, in fact, they're already in the phalanx formation.
Missile infantry at your command! Glory to Macedon waiting! Archers! Run shield pikes!
And this is going quite well, as we expected.
Citizen cavalry!
Bring these guys out. And where is our mate, the general?
Battle ready and awaiting orders.
Let's just bring him over here.
At the double! Slingers! Macedonians, ready. Missile!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Peltasts! Advance at
A little bit of faster movement would be appreciated from our peltasts here, but they like to do things in their own time.
Run shield pikes! Arbitres, ready! Citizen cavalry!
How are we looking with the enemy here? In fact, we could bring these guys over here. And let's, General is under attack. Let's bring him back a little bit. Of course, not particularly worried.
Melee troops awaiting orders. Amisos! Missile infantry ready. Acrearian axemen!
See if we can bring our cavalry just to get a quick flank on these gents.
Melee troops awaiting orders.
And while we're waiting for things to spice up at the other side, see if we can have a look here at our peltasts.
Acrearian axemen!
In fact, let's move our peltasts away. We don't want to see too much friendly fire if we can help it.
Advance at speed!
Nice pathfinding there from our AI on the cav.
Archers! Fire! Your orders! Slingers! Loose!
It was something I was a little worried about
Take aim!
in terms of
Infantry at your command. Archers! Ready! Ready and waiting! Double time!
our deployables getting in the way.
Quick march!
Sorry about
One of
the
our units
breaks
has
in
used
what
all
I'm
its ammunition.
saying. I was never the quickest at I was never the best at multitasking, you could say. our cultists here. Let's just ask them to throw into these guys, I think. In fact, these guys might not actually have to come round to deal with them.
Missile infantry ready. Advance at speed. Hoplites! Melee troops. Agrionian axemen. Missile infantry at your command. Militia! Missile infantry ready. Peltasts!
If we can, we would like to see a bit of separation from the missile troops here. And the enemy general is dead. Thank you. Heads up. Oh wow. Okay, our general is copying a little bit of fire here. My fault for not paying attention.
Citizen cavalry! Quickly now! Riders!
See if we can just get through this barricade here. It's causing our cavalry a little bit of pathfinding issues. In fact, maybe it's just going to be quicker to send them around the other way. In fact, it is looking like that's going to be the case. Let's group these guys as 3.
Awaiting orders!
Just tell them to have a field day here into the enemy blob.
Archers! Agrionian axemen! Melee
Let's bring
infantry!
these guys round here.
Double time! Archers!
These archers probably are going to be a bit inconsequential, but let's bring them round just in case they decide they're going to be of
Cavalry! Advance
influential
at speed!
importance.
Macedonians ready!
Pike infantry ready.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Warriors of Macedon! Forward! General! Missile infantry!
We've got a nice slow battle on our hands here, but can't complain. Not every battle's going to be action-packed.
Heavy cavalry ready and willing.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Agrionian! Quick march! Cavalry, missiles ready. Riders advance!
We don't want you to take that path, mate. We want you to go this way.
Macedonians ready. Forward! Missiles awaiting targets. Slingers! Peltasts! Slingers! Proud sons of Macedon! Halt! Now! Archer! Your orders! Missiles ready and waiting.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Citizen cavalry! Charge! Riders of the devil! Ready, men! Ready to ride!
Let's just bring these guys in for a rear charge here.
Yours to command!
And
General!
we'll send our general out.
Riders, advance! By your command! Hey, charge!
Hopefully we don't get too caught up on our to arriving, I should say.
On fire!
Citizen cavalry!
Riders,
I
at
might
the
just
double!
tell these guys to chase the enemy
Warriors
here.
in Macedon!
Charge! Acrearian axemen! Your orders?
And we'll just clean these guys up. And a big thank you to Athens for making the siege of Athens a lot easier by sending their troops into the meat grinder. We will release them. And look who's come back. And wants us to take these guys down. It should not be an issue.